Catherine Henderson. Welcome to my 45-hour review. I'll begin by reading my artist statement. Memory is a funny thing, an unreliable narrator. Haunting, uplifting, traumatic, memories shape our perceptions, our reactions, and our behavior. Through the lens of personal experience, high control religious oppression, military trauma, illness, surgery, loss, death, and fear, this body of work highlights the paradox of women's value being tied to antiquated concepts of societal accomplishments like submissiveness, marriage, and childbirth. Through this lens, I explore the intersections of trauma, religion, and womanhood, interrogating and confronting the ways in which patriarchal and religious oppression have shaped the perception and value of women across time, especially in our quickly changing era. This body of work explores the intricate terrain of personal experience, memory, and identity within systems of belief and control. The figure serves as both the subject and the symbol. It is an archive of lived memory and a witness to the physical and psychological weight of societal structures. Each painting serves as an exercise in the tension between revelation and concealment. Layers of oil paint accumulate like the sediment of memory, allowing hints of earlier marks and gestures to remain visible beneath the surface. The viscosity, the slowness of drying, and the capacity for revision echo the process of recollection. The painting process is like the act of remembering itself, fragmented, mercurial, and deeply human. Ultimately, my practice is a means of reconciliation between the past and the present, between oppression and empowerment, between silence and expression. These paintings are bold and expressive, depicting what I struggle to say. In our society, women are bodies, pieces of meat, and baby factories. For women, the world keeps turning, just like a meat grinder. The first piece in this collection, Red Scare, oil on masonite, 73.5 inches by 48 inches, 2024, initiates my self-reflective examination of memory and trauma. This painting depicts Red Square in Moscow, Russia, utilizing intentionally exaggerated scale and distorted angles throughout. This distorted perspective is not just an artistic choice, but also serves as a metaphor for the way that trauma warps memories, creating a sense of disorientation and distortion similar to the psychological impacts of past experiences. Building on this unsettling theme, I embrace the uncertainty of completing this work as an intentional part of the creative process by adding semi-legible excerpts from my sketchbook and journal, written while waiting in the International Airport in Moscow. This edition imbues the painting with an intimate and adventurous dimension. The fragmented text serves both as a record of personal reflection and as a formal element within the painting. Visually, the text echoes the textures and patterns of cobblestones and potholes, reinforcing the emotional resonance of the piece and its material complexity. Phyllis and First Sergeant Deathridge, oil on board, 11 by 14 both, portray my grandparents and represent my initial engagement with figurative painting since returning to this mode of expression at the graduate level, following a decade-long focus on non-figurative work. Painting these portraits not only reintroduced me to the technical complexities of figuration, but also marked a pivotal moment in my artistic development, as their success fostered the confidence to explore the human representation further. Beginning on the left, the first self-portrait, Justified, acrylic and oil on canvas, 20 inches by 20 inches, 2025, depicts me at approximately 24 to 25 years old, during a period when I was involved in an oppressive evangelical cult. In the background, I layered Bible verses that were weaponized against me. The text begins small, linear, and legible, but as layers are added, it becomes increasingly chaotic and disjointed, ultimately rendering it almost completely illegible. To elaborate, there are verses included from 1 Timothy, 1 Corinthians, 1 Peter, Titus, Genesis, Leviticus, Ezekiel, and Exodus. I will not burden you with reading all the verses, but to sample, I will quote, "The women are to keep silent in churches, for they are not permitted to speak. If they desire to learn anything, let them ask their own husbands at home, for it is improper for a woman to speak in church. Also, do not permit a sorceress to live, as well as the King James Version, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. In my hand is a witch pricker, a tool used during witch trials to implicate and condemn women. The witch pricker draws a single drop of blood from my throat. This pricker serves as a visual symbol for the previously held beliefs that I'd had that did not align with the conservative evangelical cult environment in which I had then found myself. The eyes are blank, unseeing, unable to understand and sift through the cacophony of oppressive verses." Next in the collection, Broodmare, acrylic and oil on canvas, 18 inches by 24 inches, 2025, depicts a grotesque anatomical woman pregnant with 13 gender-coded fetuses. The horses in the background are pregnant or skeletons, alluding to the purpose of the female, whether human or equine, is to bear children. In the text of the background, 1 Timothy 2:13 through 15 says, "For it was Adam who was first created, and then Eve. And it was not Adam who was deceived, but the woman was deceived and became a wrongdoer. But women will be preserved through childbirth if they continue in faith, love, and sanctity with moderation." The text is obscured by layering of words and washes of oil paint. This painting underscores the oppressive nature of prescribed gender roles and the burden of societal expectations on women, especially under the influence of a high-control religion. Next, we have Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Acrylic and oil on canvas, 18 by 24 inches, 2025. This painting depicts 6 figures. 4 are identifiable as female, while 2 are shown at various stages of processing, reminiscent of a meat preparation in a butcher shop. Finally, the piece to the far right, the last piece of the collection, Lamentations, acrylic and oil on canvas, 30 inches by 30 inches, 2025, is a portrait of my current self. This work reflects my journey of introspection and the beginning of deconstruction, with the Bible verses from my first portrait layered and later obstructed by storm clouds. The storm brewing around me is representative of the storm brewing inside myself, pushing me forward into a season of reconstruction. Thank you for taking the time to view this collection of work for my 45-hour review.